Hello. So, if you've watched any of my videos before, you will know that I am absolutely gassed for this new show. I know that is a sentiment not shared by a lot of fellow hardcore Harry Potter fans, but I can't lie, I've been excited for this show for approximately 2 years. It still feels way off here, let's be fair. I did a video last week about it, but I legit think that we're still like 13 or 14 months off the launch of this show. But anyway, as we edge very slowly closer towards this show dropping, I find myself pondering more and more the format of the show, how the 8 episodes will be broken down, which bits of the books they will respectively cover, etc, etc. But anyways, that is a video for another day. You might be wondering why I brought it up then, but the reason is Lox Pratt, who's playing Draco Malfoy in the new show, leaked a bit of information. He said the show is amazing because you get to see much more than the books. So I am paraphrasing here, but that's more or less what he said. He also said that you get to see Draco in his house, so when I read this, I was like, what the heck? We've sort of been told from day one this will be a book-faithful adaptation. Where the films missed out stuff from the books, this show will correct it, so also we were led to believe. But this sort of confirms what I was already suspecting. They are taking creative license with this show and adding stuff in that wasn't explicitly mentioned in the books. They are sort of filling in the gaps or reading between the lines rather than changing the plot, I think. We know that they've filmed scenes with Nicholas Flamel, his wife Perenelle, and Dumbledore. Scenes which obviously never happened in the book, but were naturally heavily implied, and it would make perfect sense in the world of Harry Potter that naturally Dumbledore would have met up with Nicholas and Perenelle to discuss the Philosopher's Stone. It happened, but it was never mentioned in the books. We can guess it happened, but we don't know 100% sure it happened. I've also said before that I think we will see some characters in the first season of the show that didn't actually appear in the books until book number 2. Like for instance Lucius Malfoy and Cornelius Fudge. I think we will see both of them in some form in the first season of this show. And this leak, or whatever it was from Lox Pratt, sort of confirms my theories. If we can believe what Lox said, and I mean why would he lie, that would be really weird, then it indicates that HBO are definitely taking big creative liberties with the story. Now look, this is probably going to be controversial. Fans that were already skeptical about this show will probably hate the idea that HBO are making up scenes and interactions that never actually happened in the books. But my opinion is that if this is done properly, this sort of thing could be really good and it could be a massive asset to the show. But they need to be really careful to stick to realistic interactions between characters and not go over the top with it. It needs to be small, minor additions that are heavily implied in the books, or at least make complete sense given what's written in the books. What I will not stand for is completely made up characters, big made up plots, or any other rubbish like that. If it's carefully and elegantly done, with loyalty to the characters as written in the books, then it could be really good. But I will say they've set themselves a very high bar by doing this, because if they've got the luxury to create scenes and add stuff in that was never mentioned in the books, like Malfoy at home in the first season and Dumbledore meeting the Flamels, then they best be 100% sure that they have not missed as much as a fart from the books in this show, or I will come down on them like a ton of bricks. I know, I bet HBO are quaking in their boots. But seriously, if they miss out any subplots or characters from the books, or literally anything, it would be really annoying if they're then able to include stuff that wasn't in the books. So they need to be really careful with that. Otherwise this whole concept could just blow up in their faces. Also, last thing before we say farewell to one another, but how comes Lox Pratt was allowed to reveal this information? Surely he'll be getting a slap on the wrist for that in the HBO offices. But I'm not complaining. The more leaks, the merrier, as far as I'm concerned. Anyways, that is it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe.